everyone, welcome back to our series, the 13 Principles on How We Treat Each Other. We are on number 10. When things get difficult, turn to wonder. Hi everyone, I am Dr. Vernita, CEO and founder of Glenn White Global Solutions, home of Empowered Educators Academy, where we, one, seek to raise the vibration of the education profession. 2, transform the learning experience of 1 billion students and adults. And 3, heal the nation through education. And one way we are doing that is by presenting this foundation, the foundation of how we treat each other. And you'll notice that a lot of it has to do with us, ourselves, at our core. What we do, how we take control over ourselves in the midst of situations. The 13 principles, if you are new, welcome. If you're an oldie but a goodie, thanks for riding with me through this is number 10 so far. We have a few more to go. So the 13 principles are principles that I've learned over time, attending several workshops and things like that. And being like a life professor, that's what I call myself, because I love sharing all kinds of knowledge. And a personal empowerment strategist is like, well, you need tools and strategies to get to your next level. So I just combine, those things together. But I like to see if something works. I'm a researcher. That's what we've been trained to do, ask questions and see if things work. So I learned these 13 principles and I actually use them. I use them in semester-long courses with my students, and I've used them at 2 to 4 day long workshops. I've also had them, I talked about them at a training I did. It was just like a 1-hour talk over, it was several 1-hour talks with different groups. And I think, well, I don't want to say I think, I actually did get pretty good responses. People are like, oh my gosh. Now, if you are in the education profession or the I guess teaching and learning space and the administrator space, you know about creating norms, ground rules for how a class is going to go, a meeting is going to go. If you're going to be engaged in some kind of difficult conversation, you put out the ground rules. Now, these aren't really like rules, like if you break them, there's a punishment kind of thing, but this is the foundation, and everything we talk about is housed in these principles. We take ownership of what we're doing, and then you take ownership of what we're doing. And I haven't said this yet, but once you lay out the norms, if you are the facilitator, you don't remind the person of the norms. You create this space of being hospitable and accountable so that other members of the circle or the conversation or the class or the workshop, they hold the other person accountable and they call them out. And of course, in a respectful way. So that way, everyone is contributing to keeping that space safe. So number 10, when things get difficult, turn to wonder. This one gets people every single time I talk about it. I'll admit, when I first heard it, I was like, turn to wonder. What in the world does that mean? It means go inside, turn inward. And instead of course, we already talked about suspending judgment and identifying our assumptions and biases, but it's more so about, why is this person reacting this way? Especially now, this is the part when it gets like heated conversations. Either the person escalates or the person withdraws. And I mean like a deep withdrawal, like they just shut down completely. And this is when you ask yourself, why is that person acting this way, or what is causing them? You're going through a series of questions. You do have to listen deeply. You're not really asking the open, honest questions at this point, because now the situation is out of control. And you're just giving time, like respecting silence, but you're processing in your mind what is happening right now. Did something trigger this person? You're trying to play back conversations or scenarios. But the most important part about when things get difficult, turn to wonder, that inward part, you're thinking, what what are my reactions or my feelings telling me or teaching me about myself at this moment? It's, I'll say that again. You're thinking, if you're reacting, you're stopping and says, what am I trying to learn? What is the lesson I'm trying to learn right now in this moment? Do I need to pause more? Do I need to fix my facial expressions? Am I jumping in too much? Like, this is the time where you turn inward and say, okay, I need to know if it's me, what's happening, or if you're on the receiving end, you're asking the questions about the other person, because you are always in control of your own feelings, your own words. If a person is already at 10, you must remain at a 3 or lower, because you don't want to contribute to what is happening in the atmosphere. A lot of times it's happened in our personal lives. We get into arguments or heated discussions with our loved ones, or even with our friends. And I am the one, like, I like a good debate. I want to debate, and I dare to say I like a little bit of confrontation too. But I will go like head to head, like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And I learned that doesn't really help the situation, because at the end of a heated discussion like that, there's always a winner and there's always a loser. But technically, both people have lost, because you may felt like you won that argument, but then maybe you lost a friend, or you lost your cool, even though you got your point across. And then the other person may feel defeated, like they lost their dignity, they lost the argument, whatever the case may be. And that is not the point of any of these principles. Turning to wonder, especially with yourself, you want to find a way to make sure that both sides win. And what do I mean by that? Even if you don't agree on something, both people still feel valued, heard, and seen. I'm keep going back to that, because that is key. You're going to go back. You want to make sure that the person leaves, and you're separating the discussion or the argument away from the person. The person shouldn't feel attacked. Neither should you feel attacked. So turning to wonder is really giving yourself time to, it's respecting the silence on your end, because the person could be coming at you and you're like, what triggered them? What are they thinking right now? I'm feeling very upset right now. What is causing me to be very upset? Is it because they're fussing at me? Are they using words I don't like? Are they too close to me? All of that. And our brain can process things like that quickly. And I know it may seem like, really, Dr. V, that nobody has time for that. Well, then that's why we're going to end up having these discussions that don't go anywhere, right? It takes practice. And like I said, with some adults in the training sessions who already come with they know the purpose and the mission of those sessions, this doesn't take a lot of time to get through. Like, I've been through trainings where by day 3, it was like kumbaya in there, and everyone was able to speak their truth without feeling any blame, shame, or guilt. With my students, college age students, I've learned that it takes us some time, because they're like, it's a whole thing about trust. So it takes us a while, and I do it every single time. It takes us a while to get there, but we do eventually get there. And they tell me, like, when they go out into the classrooms, when they start teaching and things are happening, especially with the younger kids that they're teaching, they are turning to wonder if a student acts out in the classroom. And they've discovered that the reason why a student is acting out is because maybe they didn't hear some directions, they wanted attention, or the work is either challenging or too easy for them. Instead of scolding them and reprimanding them or sending them to the office, they turn to wonder. So yeah, I encourage you to embrace that. It's going to feel weird. I'm not even going to tell you that it's easy, like, hey, this is what you should do and everything will work out. No. This is why norms have to be established, created, and everyone has to agree to them. So turning to wonder, I'm going to say personally, is more so about you checking your reactions first, and then trying to figure out, and you're not asking the questions, you're just going through some possible scenarios as to why a person is responding the way they are responding to you. Okay, so again, that is number 10 of when things get difficult, turn to wonder, of our 13 principles on how we treat each other. Yeah, we're almost done. We're getting there. So let me know down below your thoughts about that one. Also, make sure you follow me on my social media platforms, Dr. Vernita Glenn White. And if you missed this last time, I'm going to say it again. There are two things I offer. One, I put together some resources and I put them out right now. The one that is out at the time of me talking to you all today, if you're here live, or even if you do the replay within a short window, you're going to see the 8 mistakes leaders make in the digital space. And that is at drvernitafreegift.com. The second part is like my secret vault, my stash, resources that I put together over time, and they were once free gifts, and then I retired them. And instead of just having them sitting around, I decided to create a vault. So it's Dr. V's Vault, and you can get those resources by going to drvernitafreegift.com/stash. Yes, my secret stash. So you have two things that two and a half things. You don't have to get the free gifts or go to the stash, but I do invite you to go check them out. And then follow me on all social media platforms and let me know so far which principle has resonated with you. All right, thank you so much. I am Dr. V, and thank you for listening and learning with me. I will see you next time.